Y'all, what is going on? You already know who I am, Curtis Akeem. For those that don't know me, Pastor Curtis for other people, PC for others, Dollar Watson if you know me from the band world. But overall, I'm just a guy that likes having conversations. And as you all may or may not know, I am a social media junkie. Like, even if I don't comment, even if I don't say much online, aside from my social media prowess, I am on YouTube, I'm on Instagram, Facebook a lot of the time. And the reason why I'm sharing that is because this young man that we have on here today has been dominating timelines over the past 2, 3 months. And I took a shot in the dark and I said, hey man, I think it's more to this story than what people are alleging. Would you oblige me in having a conversation? And he responded, which already gets stripes in my book in a great way. So without further ado, y'all could already see his face, but I present to y'all, man, the living legend himself, Boomman. What's up, my guy? What's going on, dog?
What's going on, man? I apologize. I've been trying to get my camera in focus for a little minute.
Nah,
What's
nah, man.
going on, man? And I appreciate the
Listen,
the
man.
compliment of the young man. I think I'm older than you.
Yeah, you are. You are. But I call everybody young man. This is the thing. Even when I see older ladies at the church, I be like, "What's up with that young lady? How she's doing?" So,
For sure, for
so
sure,
yeah,
for
man.
sure, for sure.
Um, listen, man. I want to share something with you.
Uh-huh.
The one thing that I dislike about social media is when we choose not to be unfair.
Hmm.
Even in life, I hate when we don't have enough clarity to where even if we feel a certain way about something,
Hmm.
that we address it in a way that is humble, in a way that is uplifting, and if not uplifting, at least make it an even playing field. And the one thing about it is, y'all, Pastor be all over the YouTube. I used to be singing and all that stuff. So I still try to keep in tune
Yeah.
with the music business, music industry. That's pops on my algorithm.
Hmm.
And as of recently, I have been just seeing a lot of boom man and negativity.
Right.
Boom man and this person has something to say. Boom man and this person got something to say. And even when some people have tried to just have a conversation with you unbiasedly,
Hmm.
I still felt they entered into it with their own biasness.
Right.
And that's why I wanted to have the conversation because
Respect.
I felt as if, man, let's just even the playing field and let's have a conversation. Let's talk about it. I don't want to dwell on that stuff that's been talked about already, but of course, people see your face, they're gonna want me to ask. So
Right.
I
Right.
am gonna get to those things. Who is Boom Man?
I'm a father. Um, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a music executive. Um, I'm a plant-based vegan spiritual being. Uh, I wouldn't put a denomination on my
Mm-hmm.
spirituality. Um, I look at the world in a different way, from a different lens. I grew up Christian. Um, I feel like I'm a light in a world and in an industry full of darkness. And you speak on fair, I grew up in a place where they said fair is a place where they judge pigs. You know where I'm coming from, like, and
Yeah,
and and
yeah,
and
yeah,
and the, and the music industry just being real with you, uh, which I have to uh, challenge my spirit a lot of the times is a battlefield of um, wickedness. You get where I'm coming from? It's
yeah,
not it's not a
yeah,
it's not a it's not a clean place. And so
yeah,
when you're in a space and you look different, I look the same in some aspects. I got tattoos. I got dreads in my
yeah,
hair now. I had,
yeah,
a haircut. Uh, but I'm from the urban community. Um,
yeah,
but my spirit isn't like the people in the community. I have no criminal record. I'm not affiliated with any gangs. Uh,
yeah,
you know, I'm not into degrading women. I'm not into uh, the scamming, robbing, running off on plug, drill. I'm not,
Yeah,
that's not
yeah,
me. I don't come from that background. I don't come from nowhere where somebody can say, "Oh yeah, he got bodies in the street," or he was the big drug
yeah,
dealer in the community, or and then I didn't come from a place in the industry where I set up underneath Jimmy Iovine or L.A. Reid or you know, uh, or where I got brought in through Quincy Jones or I interned at Def Jam.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So I'm a hybrid, you know what I mean, when it comes to
Mm,
the industry. And so it has its pros and its cons. Like some people are gonna look at it like he's not street, you know what I'm saying? And some people are gonna be
hmm.
like, he's not industry, but at the same time,
Right.
there's some people in the streets that know me, respect me, because I'm from Southwest Atlanta. Most people know me I'm from all over Atlanta, but most people know me from
Got you.
Southwest Atlanta. Um, from the streets, the projects. I done stayed all over Atlanta, and then some people
Got
know
you.
me in the industry where I've gotten artist deals such as Roscoe Dash and K on the track with Swag Surfing, and I partnered up with the Lights Global and helped sign Lil Pump and Zay and Zayon with Juju on that beat, and you know and
Okay.
then I've also started my own label, which made millions of dollars independently, which is I'm probably one of the biggest independent, uh, truly independent labels of all time. It has probably the
Okay. Hold on. Cause we gonna dig into that. So you're a father,
mhm,
you're an entrepreneur, you're a businessman,
military
you're
veteran,
from Atlanta, military veteran, but you was born in
Riverside, California.
California.
Riverside,
Okay,
California.
but you're a Georgia boy through and
Yeah,
through.
my mom was in the military. She's from Chicago. After my sister was born, um, we moved to Atlanta when I was 3 years old.
Your hand was a part of the foundation and the building of what I feel one of the most pivotal, versatile, and important eras in not only Georgia music, but I do think music, period. Now, of
Hmm.
course, us being in Atlanta, we have an atmosphere of it's all us, but it's a fact. But
Hmm.
nonetheless, you were a part of some of the biggest moments of my life personally and people in my age bracket.
Hmm.
What I want to ask you is, what did you see in a KE? What did you see in Roscoe Dash? What did you see in this movement, in this futuristic movement, to where I have to platform this. I have to be a part of this. These people have the talent. What are you seeing? What are you feeling?
For me, it started in high school. Like I started off doing gospel rap. A lot of people don't know that, right? And
Okay, okay.
um, we had this group called Pentecost. uh, so me, my boy Mike, Sid, and Mario. And so you know, while I was in the church, I had a friend of mine in high school. His name was K Rab, and he wanted to be a part of what we had going on. But I felt he was more talented than all of us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I kind of when I graduated high school, I went to college, and I kind of backslid from the church. But I
Got you.
knew when I went to Morris Brown, I went to Morris Brown. They lost their accreditation, 2001. And when they lost their accreditation, I was like, look, man, I got to do something to get this money to start this label. To
So you
get
so you're there during the time they lost their
Yeah,
accreditation.
yeah. I
You're
was there
there.
when they
Okay.
lost their accreditation. Yeah.
Okay.
And so
Okay.
that's what made me say, hey, I'm gonna do something, but it's not gonna be in the streets. I'm coming from a church background, so it's not like
Yeah.
I'm finna sell some drugs, but I want to do music. You feel me?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I feel like I got a good ear for it because I feel like my boy K Rab is the one. Like I'm like he's talented, and it's just a gift, that came to me. And I didn't know how big he would be. He didn't have no huge following or no fan base and nothing like that. I just felt
Mm-hmm.
like he was extremely talented as far as making beats and rapping. And I was like, I want
Mm.
to get behind him. And I was like, even if I got to go to the military to get the money to start the label to put behind K Rap. And so
Okay.
me and my boy Mike and said, we end up buying keyboards, beat machines, and computers to helped K-Rap start his music career. That's how much we believed in him as friends.
This executive mind has always been a thing for you,
Right.
even while being an artist.
Even while being an artist. So uh
Okay,
I really wasn't as passionate about the artistry part of it as I was about getting behind other people. You feel me? I had fun
okay.
performing. It was fun, but I always had a mind of like seeing talent in other people and wanting to cultivate their talent and push them. So that's like that's just been in me from growing up from watching Jermaine Dupri, Diddy's, the Master P's, the Babies, the Quincy
Hmm.
Jones, like
Yeah.
the Barry Gordy's, like just through the
So
years
you've
of the
always
culture.
been inspired by the exec. You've
Right.
always been
I
inspired
always
by
been
the
inspired
inspired by the
by the
exec.
execs. Yes, always.
Okay.
And so um when it came to K-Rap, I was in Iraq in the middle of the war, Baghdad. I go
Hmm.
to the little
Got to
PX.
sit up for something like this.
Yeah,
Hold on. Got to sit up.
I went to the PX. I opened up I can't remember whether it was a Source or a Vibe magazine. To be honest with you, I just know I was so excited because I opened up the magazine and I seen my best friend in the magazine, and it was
Mm.
K Rap was in the magazine for breaking a ringtone record. So when he broke the ringtone record, the song was called Laffy Taffy, and
Okay. Okay.
he made that beat off of the drum machine and the keyboard that we bought him. So I called home from overseas because at this time, this was before cell phones was even a thing. This is 2002, 2003. And I'm calling home and I'm like calling the landline. With cell phones, we had the little
Yeah.
Nokia cell phone with the light up, but I'm calling
Yeah. The
international.
little brick phone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm calling
Yeah.
international. When I call my boy Mike. Where K-Rab, man? I seen him in the source. He's like, yeah, he took the equipment and went over there to Bankhead with Fabo. And I was like, I ain't worried about none of that. I ain't worried about none of that. When I get home, we up.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
making my
Yeah.
little money. I got money to start stuff. So I come home. When I come home, uh, K-Rab had did a deal with KD. He ended up doing a deal with Lil Jon. And so I just wanted to be around the business. I wanted to learn, be around, but the people that was kind of around him at the time really wasn't championing me to be a part of what they had going on for whatever
So
reasons.
there's no deal with you and him. This is your friend
Yeah.
who you deemed as more talented. We're gonna invest in him. He creates Laffy Taffy while you're at war.
Mm-hmm.
You come back home
Mm-hmm.
and he's already done his deal and you're being around
Right.
and
And
it
as I'm around, they didn't really want me around. And so I told them, I said, hey, I said, Rab, my brother, I love you. If you ever need me, I'm here. But I know your people seem like they don't really want me around. And it was kind of like slick disrespectful, kind of like what you see right now on social media, where it was like, stop telling people you with us and da da da. I said, all right, cool, I'm gonna do my own thing. And then I said,
uh
but I made myself a promise. I said, the next time I find me a producer, I'm gonna sign him. That was my main thing that I learned because I seen a bunch of paperwork going around. And I was like, I gotta sign me a producer the next time I find one.
does the producer thing come because of what you seen your homie do, or even just seeing him you knew you wanted to sign a producer, or was it in the midst of everything that happened with Laffy Taffy that the next time I find a producer I'ma
Well,
sign him?
you got to remember,
Where
I
did that
went to
inspiration
the
come from?
military to get the money to start a record label with my boy K-Rap. When I came back, he was already on. He was called the Snap King. He created the whole Snap movement.
Yeah,
And then do it, do it, do it,
I was in like
do it,
11th
do it, do
grade.
it,
I
do
was in
it, do
11th
it, do
grade.
it, do it.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Then
yeah.
hey Pimp, she's fine. She's sexy. She's cool. She's
So
a
this is
Georgia.
all
This
him.
all him. This all him. He created the whole
Okay,
sound, the pool
okay,
palace, everything that Bankhead, the whole snap sound came from K-Rap, right? So
got you.
I'm like, dang, my boy, I knew he was gonna be the one. You know what I'm saying? So in my head the whole time, I'm like, I knew it. Like, I
Yeah,
had an ear. He was wanting to go to the military. When I said, nah, you're not going to no military, bro. We finna get the money so we could put behind you so we can get out the hood. Like, this is a real
right,
hood dream that's going on. And
right,
so
right.
and so he made it, but obviously he was with a group of new people, and that's my brother. I didn't care. I wasn't mad. I wasn't bitter. I was just like, my boy on. That was the mission. That was the goal. But I love music. I wanted to be a part of music. Like I told you, I grew up idolizing the Jermaine Dupri's, the Diddy's, the
Yeah.
Master P's.
Yeah.
Like I was a huge fan of these guys, not necessarily the artists, the executives of it.
Got you.
And so I was like, in my head, I knew I was going to be in that field some type of way. And I was in South Georgia, and I was still doing my little music here and there on the side while I'm in the military.
Mm-hmm.
And I got introduced by a guy named Cali to this producer named Kevin Arandu. And when I heard his
Okay.
beats, I was like, "Who made these beats?" And he was like, "It's this kid from the hood, from the projects. You know what I'm saying? Making these beats. He's selling for like $30 a piece." I said, $30. I
Yeah.
said, "Oh man." I said, "Hey, can you introduce me to him?" Because in my head, I
Yeah.
was like, "He's harder than K Rap. He's even
Mm.
harder than K Rap." And so
Okay.
when he finally introduces me to him, I just kind of do a little slick interview, and I'm like, "What? Who inspires you?" He said, "Well, I ain't gonna lie to you. It's this producer out of Atlanta, named K Rap that I look up to that made me want to make these beats." I said, "Stop playing."
Talk about a
I
sign.
said, "Stop
Talk
playing."
about a sign.
He was like, "Yeah." I said, "Bro, that's one of my best friends. That's the reason why I even got started in this music, wanting to do the music stuff is because of my boy K Rap." He was like, "For real?" I was like, "Yeah." I said, "Matter of fact, I'm gonna take you up to Atlanta and I introduce you." And
Mm-hmm.
I took Kevin Arandu to Atlanta, which is KE on the track. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Introduced him to K Rap. I was like, "K Rap, we could do something together with him." He didn't want to do it because he felt like he was kind of biting his sound. And I understand that. Like a lot of people
Mm-hmm.
don't have the business mental. And I was just like, "It's cool."
Yeah.
I'm like, "I'm gonna still put them out. We gonna print up beat CDs." And I took him to Depot L Studio and took him to the pool.
Yeah.
Everywhere we went, we just passed out free beat CDs. And then
Yeah.
come to find out, J Money pick up one. And that's how you got. So what's your name?
Mm.
J Money.
Yeah.
First name,
Now
last
before
name.
before you dig into that, I just want to share a little bit of a story time with you.
Hmm.
Man, at this time, me and my cousins had a group. They was called Black House Cartel. I never liked the cartel thing. So I was the singer, but I was never
Yeah.
like in the group. And we actually had one of those beat
Oh wow.
CDs. And for the longest, man, my cousin, he gonna hate me for this, but my cousin lied to me because he told me that basically KE gave him this beat personally. We did a we did a whole mixtape off that. Of course, it never went nowhere. My first time finding out that the beat CDs was just being given to everybody is today.
Mm.
So I'm telling you, I'm gonna call my
Well,
cousin
KE
and
was
be
doing
like,
his
"Bruh,
own work
you've
on
been
my
found out."
no, but you can't say that because I don't know. KE was doing his whole own thing too through MySpace, sending out beats. Okay, that's how. So
Okay,
that's
all
so
right,
that's
cuz I'm sorry.
okay. So that's how on the east side you got FLY doing swag surfing. So they got,
Oh,
yeah.
okay,
So
okay,
he's sending out beats on for up and coming artists in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? KE was a workaholic. Like KE still to this day a workaholic.
okay.
He doing his part. He's sending out beats uh through the internet. And so you got people all on
Mm-hmm,
the east side
mm-hmm.
of Atlanta making songs. So that's how you got Mr. Lennox, and that's how you got Swag Surfing, and that's how you got
Yeah,
Black Boy,
yeah,
White Boy from Travis Porter. That's how you got the whole futuristic sound because me and KE
yeah.
out here pushing these CDs. And so I end up signing KE. Um, and we make history. So K Rab did the snap sound, and then I got KE, and we ended up with the futuristic sound. So I'm behind two sounds of Atlanta: the snap sound from my beat
Yeah,
machine and keyboard from K Rab. By helping
yeah,
him get that produced the whole snap sound.
yeah.
Then I signed KE and buy
Right.
him a computer and buy him the beat machines and buy him the keyboards, and now you got the whole futuristic sound. And then from
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
I end up doing my own music. Um, and bumping into a Roscoe Dash, and then you get the turn all the way turned up. You get the turned up movement. So you get the snap, the
hmm
futuristic, and the turned up movement because of Boomman.
But let's now. Okay, so in between that time, I'm gonna be honest with you,
Mm-hmm.
bro. your personal movement was
for sure,
strong. Like y'all campaign was very
for sure.
strong. So I don't want to gloss over that because I feel like sometimes I don't know if that's by your
Yeah,
doing or just people
no,
gloss
that's my
over it,
doing. I don't really
but
speak on it a lot.
you you had a hit record
Yeah,
out too.
yeah.
Let's we ain't gotta dwell there because I know the exec is where your
Right,
mind is
right.
at,
But the
but
artistry part of it, I had a lot of
the
motion.
artistry
Yeah,
part
I
is
had a lot of
important.
motion. I toured
Yeah,
overseas. I had songs with everybody from Future to Two Chainz to Yo Gotti to Waka Flocka to K Camp to Gucci Man to um, all the big people in the game right now. You know, all the Two Chainz, everybody that's popping right now.
yeah,
I was doing record with the Rocco the Dons. Um, you know,
yeah.
I was doing songs with as an artist, and so yeah, I had a run, but like I said, it wasn't my
But
passion.
was there
It wasn't
ever?
my passion. It
Got
wasn't
you.
my passion to
I,
be.
well, you
It
answered the
wasn't my
question.
passion to be an artist. I was being an artist by default of not having an artist. You feel
Okay.
me? So it was,
Okay. I was just about to ask where did that
yeah,
come
yeah.
from. I was just about to ask that, but you
It was
answered
just
it.
by
Yeah.
default of not having an artist to push. And the reason why I was able to have some motion is because I was like my name Boomman came from selling shoes and jewelry out the back of the trunk, right? So in
Hmm.
South Georgia, I'm selling shoes and jewelry out the back of the trunk. It goes from me selling shoes 2 for 100. Me and my partner David at the time ordering shoes from China, and we go from making like $5,000 uh, a week. You know what I mean? Back
Man,
then selling jewelry and shoes, and then end up opening a clothing store because I got caught with the shoes in the back of the truck, and Atlanta pulled me over and said I was selling fake shoes, which the judge threw out.
oh, so you was DH Gate before
Man,
DH
I was
Gate.
out here, man. I was getting it. You know, I'm hustling. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Getting raising up money for the dream, and we get to a point to where we open up a clothing store, and we did it the hard way. I think we end up getting a line of credit from my partner. I think we end up getting like 10,000 or 20,000, something like that. But the
Hmm.
majority of the money came from just like hard work and selling.
Right.
And so
So
that's how I ended up
right.
getting. I started throwing parties in Valdosta, selling shoes, opened up a clothing store.
Yeah.
Then I save up about 150,000, and then I get a call from TJ um, and Fetty out of Atlanta, and they interested
Yeah.
in my record, and I'm like, okay, cool. And so I moved to Atlanta, started helping them throw parties.
Is that the Boom Man Booming? I don't quite know the name of the song, but you know what song I'm
Well, I
talking
had a
about.
couple of
That
songs.
was
I had
everywhere.
the they on my uh And
That's the
yeah,
one.
yeah, I
That's the
had
one.
that one,
That's the
and
one
then
I'm
I
talking
had the
about right
Up
there.
in Here
That's the one
song
I'm
with Two
talking about.
Chainz that went crazy. Those are like my two biggest records. You know,
At this time, do you still have your store
I
in
still got
South
the
Georgia?
store in South
Did you
Georgia. I still
completely
got the store in
move?
South Georgia, but I don't have.
Okay.
I'm making so many moves in Atlanta. It gets to a point when I sign Roscoe, we do the deal with Roscoe. I'm on the road with Roscoe. We making so much money with Roscoe. I can no longer run the store. So my partner was running the store, but it got to a point to where it was like, bro, we making more money in the music. We don't it's a waste of time to keep pushing the store, so I think we should just do the music
Got you.
full
Got you.
time and do the events full time.
You got records popping. Like I'm a testament to that. I
Yeah,
was outside when
yeah,
you
i
was
was i
outside.
was
I
popping in
was.
Atlanta,
So
in the south, in the
so
chitlin circuit.
so
My music thing is going, but I was throwing parties in South Georgia. So when I came to Atlanta and started working with TJ, Fetty, Stefan, Snap, we had a movement, MMI. We was also throwing parties, so
yeah.
we was throwing the biggest parties for 18 and up. And so in Atlanta, at Figure Eight, we was doing Club Cali
I was at
In
some of them,
Marietta. You know what I'm saying? So we really popping. And so I get a call. So I
especially
get a
Figure Eight.
call from CEO Charlie, uh, who's over with, who's over Travis Porter at the time, and Street Execs, and says, "Hey, we want you to throw our mixtape release party. I'm a different." I'm like, "All right, cool." You know what I'm saying? I said no
Yeah, I
problem
remember
because
that
we had a
track.
relationship. We also was producing records for them with KE, so it was no issue. And so we threw the party. As I'm throwing a party, we had a party with Travis Porter and Waka Flocka, and it was the mixtape release party. Travis Porter
Right.
performs all the way turned up. I look at TJ and say, "Oh, they got a hit with that record." TJ
Mm.
looks at me and says, "That's not even their record." I said, "What you mean that's not their record?" He says this kid named ATL record. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know I was at the studio when they
Yeah.
jumped on it or whatever. I said, for real? I said, that's crazy. I said, well, can you introduce me to him? Because I want to work with him. Me being an artist at this time. I wanted to just do a song with I wanted
Okay,
to do a
got you.
song
Got you.
with Roscoe. He was called ATL at the
Got
time.
you.
He changed his name to Roscoe Dash. So
Right.
I wanted to do a record with him.
Right.
So he connects me. I'm talking to him and I'm like, hey, bro, I want to get in with you. Like, what we need to do. He said, well, right now,
Hmm.
currently I'm running around with Travis Porter. We got shows here and there. I was like, all right, well, cool. Just call me when you get off the road. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm really trying to get in with you
Right.
before you get too big. And then
Right.
he was like, man, I ain't gonna even lie, bro. He started. This is when the kind of like the complaining started. Where it's like, yeah, man, I don't know. They kind of, you know, I ain't really getting the credit for my record, you know what I'm saying? X, Y, and Z. And I'm just like, oh, that's crazy. I'm like, I said, I done seen that happen before, you know what I'm saying? So I know how I go. But I was like, bro, just hit me when you free. He said, I probably should better link up with you on this date. So I called back and he was like, yeah, man, I ain't gonna lie, I'm still out here in XYZ. And I'm like, now I'm like, but I'm like, you good though? He's like, yeah, man, I don't know, man. I'm frustrated. He just doing.
He coded.
He
He coded.
complaining
Yeah.
about he's not happy because he's moving around with them, but they're taking all of the shine for his record. And then one day I had a
Right.
dream, and I was just like that I had signed him, and I called back. It was so real to me. It was so surreal to me that I woke up out my sleep and was like, "Hey y'all," I'm knocking on
Hmm.
everybody. I said, "Bro, I'm finna get ready to sign Roscoe Dash." I just had it. No, I said I had a dream. I signed Roscoe Dash, and it was so real. I said, you know what? I'm going to sign Roscoe Dash. So then I call him and say, hey,
Yeah.
bro. I said, hey, where you at right now? He's like, oh, I just made it back. I said, bro, I need to link with you ASAP. So end up linking with him, and I said, hey, bro, I'm gonna help you get your record. I'm gonna help you get credit for your record. You know what I'm saying? He said, for real? I said, yeah, I'm gonna help you get credit for your record. So I ended up taking him down
Mm.
to Valdosta. We take a 3 hour ride. The whole time I got labels on the phone. You feel me? Because we just did swag surfing. We did so I'm talking to the same people. And
Got you. You still talking
yeah,
with KE
yeah, because I done went
in
to
his
Atlantic. I done
crowds
met
and
with
stuff,
Mike
which I
Karen.
did
I done
there.
met through KE. I done met with some of everybody. You feel me? So I'm like, hey, this record all the way
Yeah.
turned up. I know y'all been hearing it, but I got the artist who really got the record. And they was like, ain't that Travis Porter? I said, no, it's
Got
not
you.
Travis Porter. I said, it's this dude named Roscoe Dash. It's his record. You know what I'm saying? It's featuring them. The way they got it
Hmm.
looking, it looked like it's their record featuring Roscoe, but it's actually the other way around.
Yeah.
And they was like, well, who made the beat? And I was like, who made the beat, Roscoe? He's like, it's this kid named Vibe, but can't nobody reach him. I said, let me call him. I
Vibes.
said, let me call him. So I call Vibe.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's
right.
sound click days.
I get it. I don't know how I got in contact with him, but I blew him up. And he was kind of like, oh, the beat been I can't fully remember at that time, but I know it was just like it was like a weird type situation. So I said, you know what? Don't worry about it. I said, KE remake the beat. I had KE remake the beat.
Mm.
Roscoe record the vocals
Mm.
because it's his song. And then I had Roscoe make another
Yeah.
verse. And then I said, leave an open verse. I said, K, this is what I want you to do. I want you to send the song to Soldier Boy and Nicki Minaj with the open verse. When you send them a beat pack, just send them the song with an open verse. He
Yeah.
sent it to both of them. Nicki didn't do nothing. Soldier Boy jumped on it and you streamed it live.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
made history. It made
Yeah.
history. Everybody, because at that time, Soldier Boy
Yeah.
was like the hottest out. You get where I'm coming from? Him and Nicki Minaj was like the hottest out. You know what I'm saying? Now you gotta remember this is
Yeah.
now we in 2010, 2009, 2010,
Yeah.
2009. You feel me? And
Yeah.
so the rest was history. Then we started battling with Travis Porter over whose song it is. And they were mad at me. As you can see now, they're still mad at me 16 years later that I helped Roscoe get.
Oh, hold on. See, I didn't know that
Oh yeah, they just
there
went
was
on an
friction.
interview. They
To
just
be
went on an
honest with you,
interview
like,
on Big Facts last week and said I was some BS because of the situation. Because Bank asked them what happened with All the Way Turned Up, and they called me out.
are you and Charlie
No, no.
beefing too?
In the beginning,
Or
me and Charlie was beefing because Charlie was kind of like, "That's our record. Our fans ain't gonna like this." And Charlie was kind of like at me, and I was like, "Bro, I ain't studying none of that you talking about, Charlie. Like, it's his record. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?"
yeah.
And bro, we could do something, we could work together. If not, then it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And so I
Yeah.
took a side, and
Yeah.
because I
Yeah.
chose
Yeah.
to help Roscoe, Travis Porter, all their supporters turned against me. And it was just that's it's been like that ever since. So ever since I did that one move, Atlanta has had a problem with me in the streets. Whoever was like, because you gotta remember, Travis Porter was like the biggest in the city at that time. Their fan base was huge. So
Yeah.
if they
True.
wasn't
True.
rocking
True. True.
with Roscoe or me, you know what I'm saying? It's just what it was. But the only thing that saved us is Soldier Boy jumped on the record, and I was able to get it on the radio and get him $1 million deal with Interscope and Music Line and Zone 4, which is Polo the Don. And that kind of saved me because there was a big powerhouse and it was bigger than Atlanta. It was bigger than Atlanta.
Yeah.
So ever since then, I've
Yeah.
had problems in Atlanta. But outside of Atlanta, the world rocked with me. So what you seeing now on the internet, it's really coming from that era all the way to now from Atlanta. It's
Got you.
not the world, it's Atlanta. You get where I'm coming from. So, you know, I'm just being honest with you. That's
Got
just
you.
where it come
Yeah.
from. And it
Yeah.
ain't all of Atlanta. It's just pockets of people who was in that party promotion world who we used to throw parties against. It was people from the Travis Porter who, so it's
Yeah.
just opposition. That's why I don't really, it don't phase me because it's opposition. And in life, when
Yeah.
you get to a certain level, you're gonna have opposition. That's just how it comes. That's how it goes. Like
Yeah.
everybody don't see eye to eye. Everybody don't look at things the same way. You got the Republicans, their opposition is the Democrats, vice versa. You got, you
Yeah.
know, anybody that ever built the empire or built something, somebody's tried to attack. And I'm not saying all it's not to me, it's not about right or wrong, right? It's about agreeable and disagreeable,
Yeah.
right? So you're gonna have agreeables and
Yeah.
disagreeables because it's about the perspective of what you're looking at it, right? So if I'm a
Right.
Muslim or a Muslim, I'm gonna disagree with Christianity. It doesn't make me right or wrong. It
Right.
just, to my faith base, it's a
Correct.
right or wrong. But to the world, I'm just a disagreeable. I don't agree that Jesus is Lord and is the
Yeah.
Lord and Savior. You feel me? If I'm a Christian, I don't agree
Mm-hmm.
that
Mm-hmm.
Allah is God. You get where I'm coming from? So
Right. Right.
these
Right.
are
Right.
perspectives and opposition. So in Atlanta, when you get to a certain level and you are making a certain amount of noise, you're gonna have opposition, and I have opposition, and that's cool. That comes with it, and I respect it.
Right.
And I don't know
Right.
anybody that's a public figure that made it to a certain level that hasn't had public scrutiny.
Knowing how it is to deal with people that don't
Hmm.
understand the back office, don't
Hmm.
care to understand, but feeling some sort of way because of where I am, they should be in the same seat. That can cause a
Right.
lot of opposition. And so this movement is almost like it's a couple things I want to touch on. I want to touch on the expectations
Hmm.
versus realities of
Hmm.
the artist, the when I'm down for the cause, but once we up, things
Hmm.
start to change. Or even when you're talking about your business, you're you're
Hmm.
sharing everything, bro. Like when I listen, you're saying, "Hey, this is what I did.
Hmm.
This is how I did it. This is what happened," and essentially
Right.
they just didn't like it. That
Well,
that's what I
well,
essentially hear when I
it's
hear you
not that they
speak.
don't like it. I just think sometimes it's about who's doing it. You know what I'm saying? Once again, you gotta realize people are on different timelines of vibrations. You feel me? And I vibrate at a
Yeah,
different level than most people. And so sometimes when I speak in my head, I'm making sense. But if I'm teaching
yeah,
algebra to a
yeah,
kindergartner, it's like that's jibber jabber. I don't understand
yeah.
what you're talking about or what you're saying.
Right,
I could be making all the
right,
sense in the world. They just
right,
they just don't understand it or overstand it. You get what I'm trying to say? And
right,
so
right,
I think in this
right,
industry we deal with a certain mindset of people, and just to plain out just call it. Most people have a loser mentality, and I just spoke on this. And when I say
for sure.
loser mentality, I'm speaking on the fact when you're dealing with artists, right? Like if you watch if you watch sports, right? Right? Let's say football season about to come around, right? And who's
Yeah,
the GOAT in football?
far, but not Brett
Okay,
Favre.
Tom
What's
Brady.
that? Tom
Tom Brady's
Brady.
the GOAT, right? And so that's universally known. Tom Brady is the GOAT in football, right? He's a winner. That's why he's the GOAT. He's a
Yeah.
winner. Now,
Yeah.
when you look at Tom
Right.
Brady as being a winner, when they won, who did he give credit to? He gives
You got
credit
to
to his
school me on that.
offensive line, his defense, his coaching staff. He gives all the credit to his team. When he loses,
Yeah.
who takes the blame? He takes the blame.
Him.
Hey, we lost because of me. I could have did this better. I could have did that better. Because that's what
Yeah.
winners do. You feel me? In the culture that we're in, when an artist is losing,
Yeah.
guess who they blame?
They blame the label. They blame the
They
management.
blame
They
their
blame.
team.
Yeah. Yeah.
But when
Yeah.
they're winning, guess who gets the credit?
Oh well, they get their own credit. It's on them.
Right. I'm the reason, bro. I did this by myself. I ain't need
Yeah.
nobody. I
Out the
took myself
mud.
to the top.
Out the mud.
I
Yeah.
got it out the mud, bro. They
Yeah.
popping it. It's all them when they win, and it's everybody else when they lose. I want to make sure that didn't go over everybody's head. As an artist, I want you to think about this. These are grown men
Yeah.
making excuses on what somebody did to them
Yeah.
of why they're not winning. Like
Yeah.
they didn't have a decision. Think
Yeah.
about what I'm saying. You're no none of them are saying, hey, bro, I didn't make it because I didn't work hard enough. I took
Yeah.
it for granted. I didn't treat my team with respect. I didn't big up my team. I had an ego. I was acting like a diva. You don't hear this. They
That's
don't
true.
they don't speak on what they do wrong. They're
Yeah.
always it's here. It's like being in a relationship, right?
Hmm.
And you talking to your girlfriend or your wife or your partner, and you say, "Hey, why did you cheat on me? You're the reason I cheated."
Yeah. Yeah.
It's no
Yeah.
accountability, fam.
Yeah.
Anytime somebody's quick to say somebody else is the reason why they did something or didn't do something, there's no
Yeah.
accountability unless you was or unless somebody forced you to do something, put a
Yeah.
gun to your head, or did what Pooh Shiesty tried to do to Gucci Man. Get where
Yeah.
I'm coming from?
Yeah.
Outside of that, bro, why are we talking about what another man did or did not do for you that you
Yeah.
couldn't do for yourself? You have a loser mentality and you're looking for somebody to blame because you don't want to challenge your ego. And
Right.
your ego is telling you it can't be me. It gotta be somebody else.
Or it's also the people around you.
Either way it go, it's
You
still
know.
your
Right.
ego.
Right. Right.
It's still
But
your mental
I do
health.
got a question for you. I do got a question for you. How business savvy is the average independent artist that comes your way?
Most of the artists in the urban space don't have college degrees.
Correct.
They're on lean and weed and drugs and pills and popping, and they come from the streets. They're robbers. They're scammers. They're not the most business savvy people. You feel
Right.
me? And no matter what you tell them in the beginning, all they see is the money, the fame, the success, the notoriety. Because
Right.
truthfully, a majority of them are in it for fame and notoriety, even so over the
True.
money because they're willing to give up. In the
True.
beginning, they're like, hey, like, you know how many artists have told me, like, shoot, I give you my publishing. Just put me on. You feel me? Like, you don't even,
Wow.
they don't even know what publishing is, though. You could ask an artist
Right.
right now, what is publishing? They couldn't tell you. Do a survey. Ask artists,
Hmm.
do you know what publishing is? And I
Gotcha.
guarantee you, ask them, do you know what a royalty is? Ask them, do they know the difference between mechanical royalties and performance royalties? This is how
Hmm.
you get paid in music, but they have no clue what it is. So they come into it not understanding how they get their money, but willing to give up certain things just to get on without doing due diligence, without learning the business, without getting proper counsel. They don't even want to pay for counsel. They want,
True.
man, you should listen to my music for free. Like, you get where I'm coming from? You should meet with me for free. I'm nobody,
Yeah.
but you should
Yeah.
just give me your time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's the way they think. And so what happens is this right here. They'll do a deal early. find out late, like, bro, they're benefiting off what you gave up. And then they want to rewind the clock and be like, oh, you're making millions. I deserve some of this.
Do you think that's what happens in your case?
That's what happens in all cases. What you seeing right now, even in Atlanta culture, is artists feuding with CEOs because guess what? They're no longer winning and
Yeah.
they're reflecting on a time when they was winning and they're analyzing what went wrong.
If we're talking about culture, if we're talking about, you know,
Hmm.
protecting us and taking care of us,
Hmm.
is there a responsibility to not just you, but to the CEO like yourself
Hmm.
to help these artists understand? Or are you dealing with artists that just don't care
They just don't
until
care.
it get bad?
They just don't
Okay, I
care
just want
until
to
it
put it
get
out there.
bad because, like, even in my situations, every artist that I sign, I make sure they have an attorney. So once you
Okay.
have a representation present, bro, I made sure you had proper representation. I said, bro, I don't do deals with artists without them having an attorney.
Gotcha. So question for the room. Is it a are you picking the attorney, or are you just saying, hey, I'm making sure you have one? And if you
No,
are picking the attorney, is
no,
that a
I'm
conflict?
not picking the attorney. I'm saying, hey, make
Okay.
sure you have an
Okay.
attorney. And if you need help, I can suggest you some attorneys. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not that somebody's trying to take advantage. I'm not trying to take advantage of nobody. I tell artists what it is, what I'm doing, but they don't understand it. And they don't care in the beginning. They don't
Gotcha.
because they don't know enough. And me, I'm not trying to take advantage. I'm just protecting myself for when they get on something that I already know they're going to get on majority of the time. And not only that,
Okay.
this is how we make money in music. Like,
Mm-hmm.
look at it like this, bro. We do deals every day. Bro, you do a deal with
Mm-hmm.
you did a deal with your social media platform.
That's true.
And when you put content up against their guidelines, they take it down. They could suspend your
Right.
page at will. It's so many,
Right.
but you're not reading that because you don't care. I just want to be on the platform.
Yeah.
But then you
Yeah.
start making a lot of money, you get your followers up, and you post something that is against their guidelines, and they snatch your page. You go to crime. But they say,
Right.
hey, bro, it's
Right.
in the guidelines.
Right. Right.
But you didn't care
Right.
in the
Right.
beginning. You only care now because you make money off your social media.
Right. Yeah. Now, and I totally agree with you, which was my first struggle of watching a lot of your conversations
Hmm.
is when we use terms like take advantage of, when we use
Right.
terms like scamming,
Hmm.
it's like where is the accountability that the artist should have?
On this round, everybody is going to experience the same feelings and emotions.
True.
Nobody is obsolete.
True.
You've experienced heartbreak, yes or no?
True.
You've experienced
That's true.
betrayal, yes or no?
That's true.
You've been taken advantage of, yes or no?
That's true.
You've experienced love, yes or no? You've experienced joy.
Yes.
Everybody
Yeah.
goes through the same things. The
Right.
difference
Right.
is how do you respond to the adversity that you go through? Do I cry about it? Do I learn from it? Do I get better? The artist, like I said, it's just nobody's right or wrong. It's just perspective. I I can get on here and cry too. I feel like every time I invest my money and I don't make a profit, I got took advantage of. I can
Mm-hmm.
feel like you promised me you was gonna be the hottest artist in the world and you flopped, you scammed me. I
Yeah.
can easily say the same thing that they're saying.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
perspective. I just choose not to do so because that's not masculine to me. I made the decision to make the investment.
Right. And I also think when it comes to the creative space in particular, I think people forget that when you're talking about the music business, when you're talking about any business, that business still has to be handled.
Hmm.
But because it's a creative spirit and people are sensitive about their stuff, like Erica Badu, they tend to lean towards just these are my dreams, but I don't handle business. I just want to be the famous person. Bump them contracts, just get me famous. And then now that things are starting to flow, you're
Now
starting to
money is
see
being
some
made.
things.
You don't want now you want to switch up. So what it is I don't
But
want to
there's so
honor
much
agreement.
artists that have been broke forever. Yeah, and that's
and
the
they, and
hard
they,
part, man. I'm
and
gonna be
being
honest with
broke
you, man.
forever has nothing to do with the person you made the deal with. It has something to do with your mindset.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
what nobody wants it, bro. Your attitude equals your altitude. How you look
Mm-hmm.
at things,
Hmm.
what happens on the outside is a reflection of what's going on in the inside.
Right.
If you're broken
Right.
internally, you're going to be broke externally.
Right. Right.
If you're
Right.
rich
Right.
internally, you're going to be rich externally. It's all
Right.
about how
Right.
you feel about you and how you carry yourself. People
Right.
are
Right.
depressed and feel like they're lost or they're losing. Go get you some
Mm-hmm.
wins. Don't
Mm-hmm.
lay down in it
Mm-hmm.
because we all
Right.
go through it. But winners
Right.
overcome adversities. We just
Right. Right.
we just tried one more time. We failed and just tried one more time. Bro, I've
Right.
been taken advantage of by a lot of people. More people have taken advantage of me than I've taken advantage of them. But I'm not on the internet crying about this artist told me this and did that and slandered me and did this and did that and took that and like I'm not that's not what I'm into. I'm like, bro, let's okay, cool. That's a learning lesson.
The only thing I hate about that term taken advantage of is because,
Somebody has to be a
and I
victim.
noticed
Somebody has to be a
this going
victim.
yeah. And if it didn't work,
Hmm.
why do I get the short end of the stick because it didn't work? Why can't it be a twofold thing? Why can't it be something to where you could have did this and I could have did this and agree on this? Why is it always this? Well, it's him. It had to be him. When I was hot, when I was popping, we
Because
was
it's
up.
feminine,
I'm
is
low. It's him.
because it's feminine energy, fam. I'm telling you, it's the same way when you go through a divorce. You the reason I cheated. You the reason this
Mm-hmm.
relationship didn't work. You're the reason this marriage
Mm-hmm.
failed. Nobody wants to
Mm-hmm.
take accountability, fam. Until you overcome your internal battles, you feel me? And you start
Right.
realizing anything and everything that happens to me is because of me. I'm in control of me.
Right.
Nobody else is in control of
Right.
me. And then the biggest thing, you're a pastor, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Come on, man. How do we say
Mm-hmm.
we believe in the most high? Or we believe in God and
Right.
Jesus or Allah or whatever. It's a higher power that I follow that protects me. And then go and cry
Mm-hmm.
when things happen to you and say it's all in
Yeah.
his will and it's in his plans. But now you're mad.
Mm-hmm.
If it's in his will and in his
Mm-hmm.
plan, what's up? What you tripping for?
That's real. Why is the war on boom now? I know people
I'm
have been having these
opposition to
conversations,
people's
but
I'm
why did
oppositions to people beliefs. I'm oppositions to
okay.
people way of doing things. Right now, why is it a war on AI?
Because it's taking people
And
jobs.
people don't understand it, but it could give people jobs if they just learn it.
For sure. For sure. For sure.
Anything we don't,
Well, you must got something.
anything we don't understand, we hate on. That's just how we are.
You must got something coming up, man. And even if you can't talk about it, because the only reason I say that is because right now, it's two ways that I
Hmm.
see this thing. I see this thing as either you got something big coming up that's making its waves around and people want to get ahead of it, or because of this conversation and I see how viral that conversation went. So it's my turn. I need to get my YouTube up. I need to get this up. So I'm trying to
Nah,
understand
let me tell you what's going on. Let me
why
tell you what's
now.
going on. I think it's divine timing. And for the longest, people didn't want to give me any credit for the things that I did. And so now
Mm-hmm.
it's like, okay, cool. The moment that I speak up, now people trying to discredit, but you can't discredit without giving me
Mm-hmm.
credit. You understand what I'm saying?
Correct.
So I just think
Correct.
the universe is doing its thing. Nothing happens to me, it's happening for me. I'm on here with you because of what happened then.
You got people like and I said I wasn't gonna bring
That's
no
cool.
names up, but
That's
I
cool.
have to for
Go ahead.
this, okay? Um, it almost seems like even when it comes in particular to Ray
Hmm.
Daniels, right?
Shout out to Ray.
It seemed like he almost tried to 50 Cent to your Ja
Hmm.
Rule. Like, this is what Boom doing and we don't rock with it, and then he's doing
Yeah,
reviews.
that and that's cool. Like this is the thing. Once again, I think common sense not common. You feel me?
For sure.
Ray, I think he was upset. For one, I think Ray was a person that looked at me, and I was over the years. I was his competition secretly. You know how you have secret competition? Like you don't know you like somebody's
Yeah.
looking at you and like, oh, I gotta outdo him. You get where I'm coming from? He's at
Yeah.
the top. I need to outdo him. But I don't know he's trying to outdo
Yeah.
me. You
Yeah.
get where I'm coming from? And
Yeah.
so people will look
Yeah.
at you and
Yeah.
like I said, I'm a hybrid. I'm not an industry person. I'm not fully a street person. I'm a hybrid. I'm a chameleon. I can intermingle
Hmm.
either way, right? I talk uh
Right.
well enough to articulate myself to higher ups, and I can vibe with the streets well enough for them to understand and understand me.
Right.
I can be a
Right.
twin, whatever. You feel me?
Right.
And so I'm a hybrid. And
Right.
so
Right.
I just think with Ray, he seen what I was doing and wanted and fit. Some people feel like they have to stand on your shoulders to make themselves feel tall. You understand? And I just think
Yeah.
it's one of those situations where Ray felt like I need to I need to make him look bad in order to make me look good. I need this, it's an opportunity for
Yeah.
me to take his base. You know what I'm saying? So whoever was looking at him like, oh, this is because I'm not an advocate of can't nobody blackball what God got in place. You get where I'm coming from? So
That's a
it's
fact.
like
That's a
I
fact.
don't look at myself as I'm the be all. You have to come through me. I never said that. I never look at it like that. I'm the one that people said was
Right.
blackball. And so I said, I'll create my own table because this is the vision that was given to me
Yeah.
from somewhere else. You feel me? I didn't give it to myself. I didn't create myself. You feel where I'm coming from? I didn't lead my
Right.
own path. So this path was laid in front of me and I'm just
Right.
following it. I'm getting
Right.
visions and thoughts
So
to
can
my
you? So
mind and
okay.
having dreams and waking
Right.
up and just accomplishing everything that comes to me. And so if a person
Right.
has a problem with that, that's their problem. You understand what I'm saying? So when it
Right.
comes to a person like
Right.
Ray, I think Ray is a brilliant mind and he's just trying to figure out ways to master the business. And sometimes people when they're
Yeah.
trying to master something or they're trying to get to a certain place, you come from a place, maybe he comes from a corporate place where you have to step on people to get ahead. Then he might have
Yeah.
looked at me was
Yeah.
the next stepping stone in his career. You feel me? And he feels like, hey,
Hmm.
48 laws of power, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. I gotta step on this person.
And
And
he's
it's
in
a
Atlanta. You
right.
did say
Yeah,
Atlanta.
I gotta
He's in
step
Atlanta.
on boom. I gotta step on
Um.
boom to get people to recognize who I am. And some people get off on
Right.
controversy.
You speak of vision. You
Hmm.
speak of it's coming from somewhere else. How do you address somebody like Euro got it saying that he gave you the blueprint and
Well,
you ran with
give yourself a blueprint and do it. I've been doing
it?
music
Hmm.
before he started doing
Hmm.
music. I've been doing music consultations
Correct.
before he
Correct.
even came around. He did a consultation with
Got you.
me. So it's like, bro, I put the money
Ah.
behind you. Put the money behind somebody else then if you got the blueprint. So if you got a
Hmm.
blueprint, bro,
Yeah.
everybody is doing song reviews right now. Get mad at everybody who's doing a
Hmm.
song review. You get where I'm coming from? Like, I'm not the only person doing a song review. Everybody got record labels, bro. You wasn't the
Yeah.
first person with a label. You know what I'm saying? And if you started a
Yeah.
label, you would have started a label. Do another label. You get where I'm coming from? So
Yeah.
if he wants
Yeah.
credit,
Yeah.
bro, just continue. Like, bro, you don't need validation from me. You don't need validation from nobody. Just do it
Hmm.
again. You get where I'm coming from? So, like me, I don't,
Hmm.
bro,
Hmm.
what you see me do, like you said, you seen me signing Roscoe Dash. Euro wasn't my first artist. KE
Yeah.
on the track. He wasn't my first
Yeah.
producer. I just told you. I started out with K Rap. I told you my story. You know what I'm saying? I told you
Right.
how I got
Right.
into how I got into music consultation is when I was an artist, people wanted me to
Right.
check out their music because they seen what I did for Roscoe Dash. And I was like, I'm not gonna listen to their
Right.
music for free. And my partner said they
Yeah.
willing to pay you. I said, well, cool. And I've been doing music consultations since 2011. And I have
Mm.
documentations and receipts to prove it. So you could try to
Yeah.
like, I think people feel the need to discredit people when they want credit. And I just think it's a feminine trait. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Hmm.
it's just one of them things where it's an ego thing. And it because I'm gonna
Got you.
tell you how it's ego because winners are not focused on tearing somebody else down to prove themselves right.
That's a fact.
I don't have I'm just
You're
gonna
just
go
gonna go
win. I
win.
don't have to focus on knocking what you're
Yeah.
doing in order for me to continue to win.
Right.
I don't get on social media platforms and knock nobody. I'm not knocking Ray. I'm not knocking Euro. I'm
Right.
not knocking None of the artists, bro. I want to see them win.
What's something that you want people to know? You know, I have
Hmm.
more of a, I won't say Christian base, but I do have a base that isn't so much involved. I do have some artists that are in the Christian space that
Hmm.
watch my channel, and even just people from
Hmm.
around just watch. What do you want to leave people with, man?
I think I'm an advocate for self empowerment, man. Like, bro, everything like so within, so without. You feel me? Everything starts
Mm-hmm.
internally. Your
Mm-hmm.
reflection, your outside reflection is it's a reflection of what's going on inside of you. Um, I just want artists and the culture as a whole to take responsibility and accountability of their own actions. We don't grow
Mm-hmm.
as a community and we don't grow as a society until we wave our hand and say, you know what? I got to take accountability for my part. These people
Right.
invested in me and they wanted to see me win. I'm dead
Mm-hmm.
wrong for trying to make them lose. Not the people who was for me. It's hard.
I
It's
love that. I love that. I'm dead wrong
Yeah,
for trying to
bro,
make them
these
lose.
it's
I
like,
like that.
bro,
I
I
like that,
any
bro.
of these artists, any of these people, I invested in them more than
Yeah.
they wasn't streaming. That's what and they don't like it when I say they have no motion.
You've invested more in some people than they get
Bro,
budgets
I've
from these major
invested
labels. I know that's
more
a
in
fact.
some people that they'll ever see in their life. Certain people will never see 700, eight
That's a
hundred
fact.
thousand in their life. And they had somebody like me that God used as a vessel to invest in them. And the problem is you don't even realize that it was a blessing from above, and you're mistreating the vessel that
Mm-hmm.
God used to bless you. And you wonder
Mm-hmm.
why
Mm-hmm.
it's not working out in your favor. Because the
Yeah.
favor you had, you took it for granted. And you're trying to take credit. You want credit so bad that you don't want to give it to where it belongs. And it ain't even me. It ain't
Right.
even me. You feel me? It could be your ancestors, it could be the creator, it could be Jesus.
Right.
I'm just a vessel. And my intentions are pure because
Right.
all I try to do is help you.
But you try to do business too.
No,
You
no, I'm
doing
not
business
trying to
too.
do
You tried
business.
to
I
help,
am
but you're
doing
doing business.
business. It's a difference. You got to realize most business people, really good business people, invest where there's a profit.
That's a fact.
When there's no profit and you're taking a chance on somebody, I consider that a blessing. Major labels are in business and they stay in business because they make smart investments, not because they're
Right.
playing a lottery. They look at numbers, they do their due diligence, they look at the artists, they go around asking the DJ. That's what they hire A&Rs for. To, hey, what's the temperature?
Mm-hmm.
Does this person have a felony record? Who's his people? Is they playing his music out in the club? Does he have a real fan base? Is he? They do projections. It's a real business. Okay, right now this person is. They can see his 3 month streams. He's going to make $10,000 a month for the next 3 months. Okay, we can advance some 20,000. We still gonna make a $10,000 profit. They're
Mm-hmm.
doing business, man. Me, me,
That's a fact.
I'm doing business. But if I see an artist that I believe in, I'm taking a chance.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gambling. I'm looking at it from, I think this is a good dude who deserves an opportunity. That's a blessing. And you could do the business
That's a
behind it,
blessing.
but the intentions was to be
That's
a
a blessing.
blessing. I tell people this all the time. Contracts are not in place to make sure things go right. Contracts are in place for when things go wrong. Anybody who does business on social media or on a large scale and that's making a
Mm-hmm.
lot of money, you're going to have miserable people
Mm-hmm.
call them a scammer. Everybody who's done a social media business has been called a scammer, man. They call pastors scammers.
That's a fact. They all the time, bro. When
That
it,
a
bro,
scam is, and not saying
yeah.
that there
So
aren't
that
scammers in the business, but a scammer is somebody,
correct. There's scammers in the
right, right. That's what I'm
pastoral
saying.
seat too.
But the
There's
thing
there's scammers in
is
the pastoral seat. Yeah.
what you have to realize, a scammer is somebody who's doing something with a dishonest measure. So if I'm doing something to trick you or confuse you and lie to you and run off on something, I'm scamming you. Hey, bro, I'm telling you something that
Right.
I cannot do. You feel me? And make you
Yeah.
think that I can do
Yeah.
it, or make you a promise that I cannot fulfill, and making you think I will fulfill it. That's
Right.
scamming. You know what I'm saying? But you
Right.
and
That's
not
scamming.
only
That's
doing that,
scamming.
but doing it intentionally. Now, so sometimes in life, people like right now, you say, hey, I have all the intentions in the world of putting you on my platform, boom, and you know, and making sure you make sure you have good content. And let's say I paid you to do this interview, right? Which I didn't. But let's just say I said,
Hmm.
hey, you said
You didn't. And you didn't. You
right,
didn't
right.
charge
So
me either. I appreciate that.
let's just say you said, boom, I do the interview for you, I edit it, I do all this stuff, and I make sure it look good. Give me $500. And I said, okay, cool. That's gonna cover all the content. I want to put out some more content
Hmm.
for my whatever. And then let's say
Yeah.
you walk outside and you park downtown, your car gets broken into and they take all your equipment. And you done paid
Right.
people to edit the film already or whatever. You didn't scam me. It's just things happen in life. Things happen in business. You get where I'm coming
That's
from?
true.
So it is situations
That's
that
true.
come about, and the integrity person might say, "Hey, boom, I'm just gonna get you your money back when I get it," but you might not be in a position to get the
Yeah.
money back right then and there. But let's
Right.
just say that happened to
Right.
you, and my initial response was an emotional response, and I say, "Man, I'm finna air you out on social media." Now, are you
Yeah.
willing? Now I go out here and say,
Yeah.
hey, Pastor Akeem is a fraud. I gave this man my $500. You know what I'm saying? And he ain't even put out my content. Would you be willing to still give me my $500 back?
Not at all.
That's you see what I'm saying? Because
Not
it's
at
like, bro,
all. Not at
we could
all.
have worked it out, but you decided to go to social media.
There seems like there was a lot of stuff that could have been remedied with the right
For sure.
conversation.
They didn't want to have the right conversations. They wanted to tear me
And
down. It's an agenda to
right.
tear down. You got to understand, like like I said, it's like a relationship. Like I've been married. When you go through a
Right.
divorce, you got people that's like, I want you to hurt like I hurt. I want you to feel
Yeah.
like how I feel. So if I can't be successful in the label, nobody's going to be successful. I'm going to tear it down.
Right.
That was said to me. You get where I'm coming
Right.
from?
I mean, that was said online. I mean,
Right. So
I've
if
seen it.
you
You know what
saw
I'm
it
saying?
and
I
you heard
saw
it
it.
with your
So you
own
know.
ears, you know it's an agenda to tear something down, because that person may have feel like they're
Yeah.
the reason. But instead of them saying, you know what, hey, cool, I benefited, I got features, I got money, I got accolades, I got, you know, I'm gonna use
Yeah.
this and I'm gonna build my own label. Now I'm gonna spend my energy and just tearing yours down. That's bitterness.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
comes from a
Yeah.
low vibrational
That's
place.
bitterness.
And I'm telling you, people are on different
That is.
timelines and different frequencies, right? Where they're looking at things from a
Right.
different lens and a different light.
Right.
But that's another conversation for another day.
I hope that you all have gotten something from this conversation. Y'all know me. I don't. You can go look for the other stuff somewhere else. I told him, and he can attest to this. When I spoke to him, I was like, bro, I want to have a different conversation. And I feel like we had that.
What I would love for you to do, you're a pastor, I would love for you to pray over this interview, and that it reach the people that it's supposed
Let's
to
pray.
reach. It'll touch the people it's supposed to touch, and it'll move the people that it's supposed to move.
Well, shoot, let us pray. Gracious and Heavenly Father, we come to you now first saying thank you, and we honor you for who you are, and we honor you for divine connections. And now, even this moment right here via our social media pages, I ask that some words that were spoken or the interview that was given will permeate the hearts of somebody even now, oh God. And Heavenly Father, allow somebody to understand that there is a right way to settle an ought with your brother. It's not always about running to social media. It's not always about piling on. But Heavenly Father, allow us an opportunity to give grace and mercy to situations. Allow us to understand that even though we may deem it as wrong, that it wasn't necessarily wrong done to us. So, Heavenly Father, put your hand on this message. Put your hand on this brother right now in the mighty name of Jesus. And we ask that anybody that is trying to build for the culture, build for the kingdom, we ask that you send them divine strength, divine wisdom, and the right people. It is in Jesus' name that we pray this prayer. Amen. Amen and
Ashe. Amen.
amen.